Hello everyone and welcome back to the Pear Blossom Press YouTube channel. I'm Cassie Trask. Today we're going to be making a fun Halloween birthday card using the Easy Light. And we're also going to incorporate the brand new Snap and Slide. So I want this to be a double interactive. These are so cool. And we've got our sticky spots to go along with that. Because like I said, double interactive. We're going to be using the Slide and Spin from Trinity stamps because again, need the little slide channel, and these are perfect for that. And then I have some various things from the Tim Holtz Halloween collection. It's actually called Spencer Colorize. Love that little skull. I've had it in my collection for quite a while. We also have the Halloween worn wallpaper scraps. A couple other things I'll show you later. And then I don't actually use the distress grit or the washi paper or tape, but I do end up using some of those snarky sentiments, so it's going to be fun. So I'm going through this pack of paper. They're all gorgeous, and I found the one I want, so I've set that off to the side, but this is a fun pack to have. I'm going to be using this over and over and over again, and I just love it. I do want to build a scene, but I am going to have our main focal point be this Colorize Spencer die. What I like about the Tim Holtz dies, if you've never used them before, is that on the back it'll give you a color option, and then it can be intimidating to look at all those different dies and see that you need to die cut all those different pieces out. What I'm going to do is make it pretty simple on myself. I'll die cut the one main image in black, and then I die cut the rest of the images out using white. And I'll put that onto my waffle flower grip mat. And then, like I said, it does tell you or give you an idea on the back of each of the dies what color you could technically die cut them out as if you wanted, or how you want to color them. And so I'm just looking at them. And you'll notice that each one, as they stack on top of each other, gets progressively smaller or less. And so that's how you kind of know how they're going to go together. But you can also use the packaging. That's fun too, just to kind of get an idea. And so as you can see, I have those 4 extra pieces just on my waffle flower mat. I'm going to start off by using a hickory smoke ink. We're going to do that as our next layer on top of the black one that we're going to do. And so I'm just inking that up. And just know that your colors will dry back a little bit. You don't have to worry about it looking so splotchy if that's a concern for you. It typically will dry back a little bit more. This next color is pumice stone. I thought that would be a fun one to go on top of the hickory smoke. And this next one is lost shadow. And then our final color that we're going to use is, goodness, I don't think I wrote it down. But it's the one cream color that's in there. If I can remember it, I will leave it in the description box down below. But now that all of the coloring is done and I've put away all of my colors and we've cleaned up a little bit, we're going to start stacking those dies on top of each other. So I'm using my reverse tweezers along with my liquid glue, and I'll start stacking those on top. So it already looks pretty cool to put that first layer on top. And like I said, yeah, it can be a little intimidating when you look at these dies and see how many of them there are and how many that need to stack on top of each other. But in the end, this ends up being almost like a chipboard piece. It's thick enough that it's just like a substantial piece. And I always love holding them and looking at them and then just kind of making little scenes with them for sure. So our next color is that next lighter one. And again, I'm using my packaging to make sure that I'm putting everything on top of the right piece or right, it's going exactly where it needs to go. And then we've got our cream colored piece. And then if you notice up in that upper right hand part of the screen, I've got a few white pieces. Those are going to be our last pieces that we put on top. So yeah, just making sure that I'm putting this down correctly. The way it just comes to life with each, layer that goes on top, they're so neat. And they're just kind of funky. I love them. These pieces I want to make sure I'm putting on correctly. There's 3 of them, and it's going to go on the most prominent part, where that would look like it's raised up, parts of his nose, around his eyes. It's that nice highlight. And then we have those 2 pieces that are going to go over his teeth. to really make those pop a little bit more. And I'm just making sure, like I said. But once he's put together, you'll see how neat he looks. This is an older die set, and like I said, I've had it for a minute, haven't had a chance to use it yet, so I was super happy to pull this out and play with it this time. And now I just want to make a bunch more Halloween things with it, whether it be tags or bookmarks or whatever the case may be. I just think he's cute. But there he is. He's done. Looks great, and he's going to go well on my scene. Now, because all the pieces that I've picked are fairly big, I'm going to go ahead and make this a 5x7 card. So I'm cutting down my cream cardstock to be 7 inches by 10 inches, and then I'm going to score that at 5 inches. This is going to be a top folding A7 card. Originally, I was thinking I could make it side folding, but it's going to have to be top. And then just kind of going through my things. These are the other things I didn't show you. Those are the transparencies, and then we also have some ephemera, both from the Halloween line. And these scraps are what I cut off of that cream cardstock. I'm going to end up just using this for our flooring at the bottom. Like I said, I want to make a scene. And so we're going to build up this piece. So yeah, it's cream colored. I don't want it to be bright. I don't want it to be cream. So we're going to start by using some brown. This is some walnut stain. And I'm blending that on with some blending buddies, just going all the way across. I almost want it to look like a countertop, I guess. And so yeah, that's way too brown, way too bright. I bring in some bundled sage is the next color. And putting that over the top, or no, this one's peeled paint. Yeah. At first, after I put the peeled paint on and I saw how neon it looked, I thought, ooh, I probably should have gone with the bundled sage. But I work with this. So it's way too bright. I want it to kind of match that green that's on the wallpaper piece. And it's way too bright. So I do end up bringing in, after I've inked up the edges with that peeled paint, I do bring in this Distress Spritz in Walnut Stain. And if you've never used those Distress Spritzes, they're a lot of fun. They add a little bit of shimmer. And once I dry this back, this looks a lot more like what I was going for. But I love the layered look of it. It definitely looks like some very worn countertop. And I think it makes the leaves in the wallpaper pop a little bit more. So we're going to start putting our panel together. I'm going to use some liquid glue to adhere down what I'm calling the countertop. And we're not going to adhere this down to our card base just yet because we need to work off the panel. And, you know, bringing in the different pieces that I had picked out. I don't end up using that transparency, but I do want this to look like a little bit of a scene back there where we've got like the prescription druggist on the wall, different pieces. Just some of them are small, some of them are big, almost like an apothecary might look. We bring in our slide and spin, and then I'm going to stick this down onto our panel, and then we'll run this through our die cutting machine. But our bug is going to be what kind of crawls back and forth along the countertop. We'll save that little piece, but here I'm going to bring in those little snap and slides. They're so cool. And they just snap together. It's not hard to snap them together. It's not hard to take them apart. And they slide super easy. You don't have to worry about things getting caught. They just go so well. And so before I lose the one piece of the wallpaper, I'm going to go ahead and put the channel back in just using a little bit of liquid glue, and then I can peel back the panel. But this way, just in case the bug doesn't completely cover, you know, when he goes back and forth, I want to make sure that it still looks like it's the wallpaper. So yeah, he's going to slide and he's going to spin once I do finally put him down. But before we put him down, before we put just about anything down, we're going to go ahead and use one of these little ink blending brushes. These are new. And I'm going to ink using some of that walnut stain. We're going to, this one's vintage photo. We're going to ink up the edges of all of our pieces just to age them a little bit more, make them look a little bit more weathered. And then we'll do the same thing with these little flowers. We're going to put those behind the skull. I think it's fun that it has the name Spencer. So we'll use liquid glue to adhere this down. And then we can put our skull down on top. I am going to poke holes through him later, but for now, we'll just put him down. Inking up those edges again. Sometimes you can bring the ink right to the paper. That looks pretty good too. And then we'll put down our prescription druggist sign. We've got these two little pieces. I'm just going to stick those down as well. Adds a little bit more interest to the back. And then we have these other three pieces that we're going to put down also. And I like to make things going off of the page when you're building up a scene. It just gives you the impression that it actually is a part of the scene and that there's more going on outside of your panel. All right, so we'll glue this one down and it'll stick off the edges. And then we'll glue this one down as well. And finally this one. And there are so many pieces in these ephemera, so you can have a really good time making all kinds of stuff. I'm going to trim off those excess pieces, and you'll really see what I'm talking about making it look like it's just a part of that scene, just a moment in time, really. All right. Now we're going to make it light up. So I'm going to bring in the easy lights, and they're usually a package of 5. I think they also have a package of 3. I say get a package of as many as you can get, because once you make a card like this, if you haven't done that yet, you're going to be addicted. It is so much fun. Warning, can be habit forming. There's where that sign comes in, really, on the side there. So you just pull out your piece, put your battery in. It's just that simple to make the lights work. And then since there are 3 lights on an easy light, I'm going to poke 3 holes. We'll put one in each of his eyes and his nose. It'll just really bring him to life. So I'll poke it with my paper piercer or my pickup stick. And then I really work that around to make the hole just a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to grab in our card base and I'm going to mark where the holes are just using a pencil. So I'm going to adhere my lights right over the top of those pencil marks. Before I attach down my mechanism, I've decided where it's going to go, and I do want to make kind of like a trap door for it. So that way, if the recipient ever needs to change out the battery, or if I ever need to, if I don't give it away before then, now I can easily do that. So I'm just going to score it so that it'll fold in. And that way I can, like I said, easily access the battery. So we'll use a little bit of double-sided adhesive on the back of our panel, and then we'll stick that down. And then I did end up finding my clear Scotch tape. So after the move, I thought I'd lost it, but I found it. And so I'm just going to adhere down each of the lights over the top, making sure that they're sticking upright. I'll adhere those down over the top of those pencil dots. You could use washi tape, that works fine too. It's just if you're concerned at all about maybe the tape going over the top of the light, you don't have to worry about that with your Scotch tape. You can put it right over the light and it's not going to affect it. All right, so now we've got that down, and then I do have the excess, and I'm just going to kind of carefully fold that in. It's not going to look pretty back here. It doesn't need to. And then I can adhere down my, the leftover pieces just using a little bit more of our clear Scotch tape. And of course, I'm checking my light the whole time, just making sure that everything works correctly. Okay, and I think it's about time to adhere down our panel to our card base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some of that World's Best foam tape. It is the world's best. I have been making cards for well over 2 decades now, and I've used all kinds of foam tapes. This one is the best for a couple different reasons. It easily goes down, easily cuts, and doesn't get gunk on your scissors. The release paper comes off super simple. You don't have to worry about your manicure getting messed up. And then the best thing of all is it's actually, believe it or not, repositionable for the first 30 minutes after you've put your panel down. So once I peel off all this release paper, which you'll see how easy it is to peel off, when I go to put my panel down, if I don't put it down in the proper spot, you can very easily peel it back up and not worry about things getting ripped. But take a look at it. Everything worked fine. I don't need to put it down again. I'm going to bring in those sticky spots and we'll just trim off the one I want. They're 1/2 inch, so it works perfectly with our little snap and slides, and I'll put that down on top, and then I can adhere down my little bug. And you'll see how he just kind of spins and walks around. Ugh, it's so creepy. A bug doing that. No, thank you. And now I need to decide on my sentiments. So I've brought in these different snarky sentiments, and then I finally decide we're going to make this a snarky birthday card. I do want this to be a little bit aged because everything else is, and also otherwise that sentiment is just too stark white. So we're going to adhere this down. It's sticky back, which is great. So look, I'm not saying that you're old, but if you were milk, I'd sniff you first. Goes perfectly with the skull, right? So we'll adhere that down, and then we are going to do a little bit to the inside of the card. So I've got this leftover piece. I can't end up using the transparency. It'll take up too much space on that. But I do have this leftover piece from the wallpaper. I'll glue that down. And then the little sign that I picked out actually just spoke to me because it has Plattsmouth, Nebraska on there, which is actually where my dad is from. Isn't that funny? Small world. So we'll put that down, and then we'll grab one more sentiment for the inside. Since this is a pharmacy type thing, an apothecary, I'm going to grab laughter is the best medicine. If the pharmacy is closed. Before you can pick up your prescription. I just love that. Super fun. So once again, just aging that up, and then we'll stick that down on the inside of our card. Before we can call this card done, we do need to stamp the sentiment push from the Pear Blossom Press stamp right where the mechanism is to be pushed. So that way the recipient actually knows that this is an interactive card. So we're just going to ink that up and stamp that right over where the push button would be. And then while we have our stamp out, I'm going to take the light bulb in this stamp, and I like to stamp that right on the back of my card. And then I leave a little space at the bottom for my personal stamp that says handmade by Cassie Trask. And so that way this card is all ready to go. Just need to pick who I'm going to give it to. And now that we're done with that, that's going to finish off our card for you today. I love those little snap and slides. I am going to be using those like crazy. And then of course it lights up. This one makes me happy. It makes me chuckle. It's so fun. And I hope you like it too. If you do, please hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. I also want to say how grateful I am to so many of you that have stuck around and watched my videos, checked out what I've got going on. Using my affiliate links, all that stuff just does continue to help me to create videos. And so I appreciate everything that you guys do. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye, everybody.